On this particular morning, a situation that results in someone being injured will occur on a platform in the North Sea. The dismantling of scaffolding has begun at the waste separation station. A work team made up of 3 people is to complete the work that was started the day before. Before erecting the scaffolding, the site manager requested the removal of a refuse compactor that is situated in the area, but this request was not met. Partially suspended scaffolding was therefore erected above the compactor. During the dismantling process, the necessary tasks are distributed. A worker goes up onto the scaffolding and out onto the bottom ledger. First, he unhooks the ledger above him. When he lifts off the upper standard, the ledger he is standing on swings out and away from the column, as does the standard. The scaffold worker falls about 2.5 meters and lands on a diagonal brace. The work is stopped immediately. The scaffold worker was wearing fall arrest equipment, but this was not secured. The injured person receives first aid on site, and it is found that, luckily, he is not seriously injured. He returns to work the next day. But how could this have happened? Before we move on, you can discuss the following questions. What risks are involved in the dismantling of scaffolding? What procedures should be followed prior to a job of this type? Who is responsible for safety in this case? Let's take a closer look at why this incident happened. There are a number of causes and factors of significance in this case. The causes that triggered the incident mainly relate to undesirable behavior and a lack of attention to safety issues. Fall arrest equipment must always be used when working at height. In this case, the scaffold worker failed to use his fall arrest equipment correctly. The scaffolding was not dismantled in accordance with requirements and good working practice. In this instance, dismantling the scaffolding in the wrong order led to a standard being left unsecured and a ledger swinging out. The underlying causes mainly relate to poor communication and a lack of risk assessment. There was inadequate risk assessment of the work to be carried out. The work team did not assess how and in what order the scaffolding should be dismantled, nor did they discuss risks before starting or during the work. The job was viewed as a routine task, and the checklist was only partially completed. Communication between the people involved was unsatisfactory. The work team did not clarify who their foreman was. Nobody on the work team asked any questions about safety, nor did anyone speak up about the inadequate use of fall arrest equipment. Many incidents like this happen during work involving tasks that are regarded as routine on scaffolding of 2 to 4 meters in height. Is this because people do not feel the height is enough to justify them using fall arrest equipment? How can we prevent similar incidents from happening again? Click on Yes or No to answer the questions. Do you take safety seriously and carry out risk assessments before all work operations, even those regarded as routine tasks? Have you received sufficient training in risk assessment? Do you have good routines in place to ensure that the work team is familiar with the procedures for the work to be carried out, in this instance the erecting and dismantling of scaffolding? Do you always use fall arrest equipment when working at heights in excess of 2 meters? Is training in the use of fall arrest equipment given to everyone who needs it? Do you speak up if you see a colleague not using fall arrest equipment? Look at the questions to which you answered no again, and then discuss measures you could implement. What can we learn from this incident? Our work is never so important or so urgent that we do not have the time to do it safely.